What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mac. I'm back. Now let's react. Okay. I got another video. This one is Quirks Make No Sense. Okay, let's watch it. Let's see what it's about. I already feel like I'm gonna get annoyed because it's the same person who rated all the girls of Class 1A. So let's watch this. I'm ready.
You're telling me that this guy can intentionally set his own face on fire with relatively no harm, but will receive a permanent burn mark from a steaming kettle of water heated from a regular kitchen stove? A quick Google search tells me that water boils at about 212 degrees Fahrenheit, while a literal matchstick burns at around 1300 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't care how weak Todoroki may have been as a child, no way he's being fazed by a literal kettle of tea.
Okay. I know for a fact that was his mom trying to cool it off. That's why that happened.
Exactly?
She tried to cool off the burn with her ice powers, and that created the burn.
Paralyze people by
Yeah, it's a lot.
blood,
Okay,
right?
it's a lot.
But how does licking someone's blood off a knife paralyze his opponents? There were three main quirk types: emitter, transformation, and mutation. There is also accumulation, but that's not really important right now. My hero doesn't really have a magic system. So is Stain's quirk some kind of telepathic ability? Can he really just paralyze anyone but his brain just tells him he can only do it by licking blood? Is he like the Chuck McGill of the My Hero universe? I guess we'll never know.
This quirk's probably deeper, honestly.
On the topic of blood-related quirks, how does Toga generate clothing from her quirk? Before we get to that, does she even generate clothing with her quirk? We see that her Uraraka costume melts away when transforming into that big lip chick from the Hero License arc, but she transforms into her naked. This seems to imply generating clothing as part of her power set. So how does drinking someone's blood allow you to create the clothing the person was wearing?
I personally think he's thinking too deep right now. I mean, these powers could come with more to it. It might not just be blood.
So why does One For All manifest differently for Deku and All Might? When All Might wants to use his strength, his muscles grow ginormous. So why does Deku emit lightning when he uses his strength? Which brings up another question. Does lightning emission count as a quirk? If he wants to light a candle, he can just use One For All in his fingertips and light the wick, right? Did the passing of pre-existing quirks of One For All over time just create a new quirk?
That's a possibility. That is a possibility. I mean, we all see it.
So I'm going to go under the assumption that quirk mutations are biological in nature and not magical like Scarlet Witch or something. Monoma cannot copy mutation type or heteromorphic type quirks. So how fucked up does your body have to be in order for Monoma's quirk to be rendered inert by it? We've seen that he's copied Bakugo and Kirishima's quirks, and there must be something different inside their bodies that allow for their quirks. And it's not like he can't grow body parts to copy a quirk. He was able to grow a horn from copying Eri. So why can't he copy every mutation type quirk like Ojiro or Hakakure?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So Mirio explains that since two things can't be at the same place at once, when he phases into the ground, physics just shoots him up into the air so that he can regain his impermeability. But he can exit his permeable state whenever he chooses with all the air molecules around. So it stands to reason he'd get stuck in the ground like the Hulkbuster suit when Thanos played the hell out of Bruce Banner in Endgame. If he is able to phase in and out of his quirk around air molecules, he should be getting a mouthful of dirt every time he tries that physics trick again. Luckily for Aizo,
that's a good point.
I won't be talking about his borderline magic, sentient bandages, Doctor Strange's cloak levitation ripoff today. I want to take a deeper dive into his quirk, Eraser. So he can disable the work of an enemy quirk user if he stares at them funny. He has been seen erasing both Todoroki and Bakugo's quirks, so he can disable the function of the body that can activate a quirk, but won't work on things that don't need activation, like horns or permanent invisibility. So could he erase Ojiro's tail?
I doubt it.
It is a biological appendage that requires activation by the quirk user. So could Aizo make his tail go limp if he stares at it? Does Suyu's entire body count as a quirk? Her tongue, fingers, and her body that allows for frog-like agility all require constant focus from Suyu. So would she just go limp as well? On a side note, what would happen if Aizo
I doubt it again.
Would he erase his ability to erase his own quirk? But if he erased Eraser, he wouldn't have the ability to erase his quirk erasing quirks in the first place. How would we even know if he was erasing it or not? Is it really a big deal in this universe if you don't have a quirk? Cause guns seem to work just fine on most villains in this universe. Well, I guess it could be a problem in Japan, but Snipe has what looks like a custom 8-round revolver. Do you think there are a lot of gun-wielding heroes in America in the world of My Hero? Not people 100%. Like Gunhead, where guns are their quirk. I mean regular ass people with useless or no quirks at all wielding guns like the Punisher or something. I'm sure they do just fine. Just show up to the crime scene and air out the whole room. So what if Deckard never got one for all? He'd be just fine with this Glock for all. Just to get it out there,
That was
this video
fire.
was not
That was fire.
malice. I actually love the My Hero.
Okay, so there's a lot that I feel like I agree with and disagree with. Like, I feel like part of it, he's kind of overthinking a lot. Like Asui's quirk. I mean, her quirk is literally frog. She has the traits of a frog. She can do frog-like stuff. Erasing that, if you're born with it, I doubt that's how that works. As far as, you know, she has literal webbed feet, webbed hands, a long tongue. Ojiro's tail, like, that's just there. I don't think it's gonna go limp. It's just there. But as far as like staying, that it's questionable. Like, how does licking blood all of a sudden, this magic aura just makes you paralyzed? I don't understand how that works. Or how does Toga, you know, her quirk, when she drinks the blood, how does she manifest clothes? I don't know. There's so many things to the quirks that honestly they just need to dive deep, or maybe we will never know the answer. The gun thing is very true. I bet in America, people definitely just using guns. Like, okay, you got a quirk, I got a gun. I bet. But overall, I'm not as mad at this video as the last one. Please watch that last one. He ranked the girls in such a horrendous, horrible way that it's a sin, okay? It's a sin, clearly. Anyways, that's the video. If y'all want to see me react to another video, just comment what y'all want me to react to, or I'll just react to more videos that I like, you know, I preference. Anyways, I'm Mac, I'm back. This is Mac Reacts, you know. Appreciate y'all. Sub, comment, like, you know, we out.